Yuji vs Dabura is not close and it is already over. With Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo chapter 17 coming out in less than 24 hours, I do believe Yuji is going to show up. So before that happens, I want to have a full power scaling video that I have not done before, discussing this fight in detail purely for Yuji and Dabura's fight. Who's stronger? Who's faster? Who's got the better technique? Who is going to come out on top? I'm going to put my bet in this video, and this video is either going to age like wine or like milk very soon, as we're going to see the results of this either next chapter or within the next 3 chapters. So let's just get right into this. Be sure to leave a like on the video, it helps out so much. Thank you very much, it does help. And of course, be sure to subscribe for a ton of consistent and quality JJK content just like this. I got a ton of JJK Modulo content on the channel. You are not going to regret subscribing if you are loving JJK Modulo right now. So let's just start. This is not going to be a theory video. This is not going to be like my other videos where I talk about what might happen and the possibilities. This is a purely power scaling video. I'll be breaking down how strong I think Yuji is, how strong Dabura currently is, how strong I think they'll be at their max, and then discussing how I think the fight will go. The first thing is Itadori Yuji. I'm going to keep this short because I've made so many videos on this, but yes, Yuji is a complete beast. In Shinjuku, he had 2 techniques, cleave and dismantle, or specifically known as shrine, which yes, does include his furnace, the Fuga flames. We just haven't seen him use it, and he has blood manipulation, both of which being top 5 techniques in all of Jujutsu history, and considering 80% of your potential is your technique, and he has 2 top 5 techniques, his potential right off the bat is insane, with it only being known that he had cleave and dismantle and shrine and furnace. I guess I should just say shrine in this case. That alone was enough for Uraume to believe that Yuji had the same potential as Sukuna, considering he's got a portion of his soul as well from his twin. But he is a Black Flash prodigy, a physical beast who is contending with Sukuna physically. He has broken the record for the most Black Flashes and for the most consecutive Black Flashes. Both of them go to Itadori Yuji, being the only character in this series who was blessed not only by the sparks of black, but specifically the only one who it seems like he can just hit at command, as was even said during his fight with Mahito. An incredible feat. He has complete mastery of his own soul as well as attacking the soul of other people. He has cursed energy that's off the charts, refinement and output that's incredible, as well as his reverse curse technique being greater than any other characters due to the fact that he has the physiology of a death painting. Yes, it was confirmed after eating his brothers, he has now the body of a death painting, and because of that, unlike other sorcerers like Yuta, Gojo, Sukuna, who take up a big amount of cursed energy to use reverse curse technique, Yuji with the body of a death painting doesn't need to do all of that. He can just simply convert his own cursed energy into blood, thus making his reverse curse technique incredibly sufficient, cheap and effective, far more so than other characters. He also has a domain expansion as well, and everything I just said is Yuji when he was 15 years old. I repeat, 15 years old, only being a sorcerer for 6 simple months. He has had 68 years to train since then with an immortal body, and he looks exactly as he did when he was a teenager, as his design has already been revealed. Without a doubt, Gojo, his own words, believed that Yuji, once entering his prime around 30, was going to surpass him. So a Yuji who is 68, still in his prime, still in his peak, is without a doubt going to be stronger than Sukuna and Gojo. He is going to be a different beast altogether. Dabura is someone who is clearly Honoured One level. Time and time again, he has been directly compared to Ryoma and Sukuna so many times that it's just obvious that he's on that level. It has been shown by other characters directly calling him that, the writing style comparing him to a Calamity, the way that he's portrayed artistically, and just it being said so many times, he clearly is Ryoma and Sukuna level, and that was put to show when he was fighting Mahoraga, destroying a city with ease, and he easily is the most destructive character we have ever seen in Jujutsu Kaisen. He is far more destructive than either Gojo or Sukuna. Sukuna is definitely more lethal. His technique is lethal. I would say it's close between Dabura's light and Sukuna's shrine, but I would say Sukuna barely takes the edge. Gojo has the best hacks, like that's undeniable. Gojo's hacks are off the charts, and Dabura, just in sheer destruction and area of effect, is by far the greatest we have ever seen in the series. Nobody comes close to him. With his light technique and also his blank technique that we don't know the name of. Of course, in my own theory, I think he's combining the light and this blank technique that adds mass, the killing intent, but it could be possible that we haven't even seen him use it. Either he's been using it this whole time, or he hasn't used it and we're going to see it soon, which would be absolutely crazy if that's the case. Now, it does seem like the aliens are not aware of binding vows, so Dabura cannot make binding vows, whereas Yuji can. However, we do not know if they have domain expansion. It could be possible that they do, and it could be possible that we don't. That is simply something we don't know yet. What Dabura does have is his third eye. Now, we don't know if this is very special to the Lemillions or all Sumerians who have third eyes, but that third eye can awaken and give a power-up. as we've seen with Maru, and it can just let them go completely ballistic. If Dabura has such a state just like Maru does, if it's not unique to the Lumilians and specific to all Lumilians, all Sumerians, then he is going to have a completely different level than what we've even seen him fight with Mahoraga. That would mean what we're seeing with Mahoraga is not even Dabura's full power if he has a third eye awakening. There's still many things we aren't too sure about, but what we are sure is his speed is ridiculously off the charts, as when he teleports with Mahoraga, even the rubble doesn't move in the air. He's simply that fast. His durability is off the charts, as Mahoraga hit him twice, and exactly the same as Sukuna and Shibuya, it parallels perfectly. Dabura didn't even get a scratch from it. Literally, not even a scratch. This whole time, he has been coasting Mahoraga, killing him dozens of times relentlessly. He is simply a beast on another level. Ferocious, strong, tenacious. Dabura is without a doubt an Honored One level character. Now, how do I think this fight is gonna go? I think if they do fight, I think it's gonna be pretty even at first, but I do believe Yuji Itadori is going to have the advantage. It seems like it's possible Dabura has never fought anyone on the Honored One level. It seems like amongst his planet, on the Sumerians planet, he was just special. He was the only one that powerful. Of course, I'm only speculating. I don't know if that's true, but if that really is the case, Yuji is going to have a far better time considering his experience fighting Ryoma and Sukuna in that deathmatch. Yuji is more versatile as well, as Dabura has two curse techniques, and this is 50-50 because if Dabura has been combining his techniques this whole time, then Yuji is more versatile. But if we just simply haven't seen him use his blank technique that's got mass, which is killing intent, then they would be even in this aspect, because Yuji has Cleaminess Mantle and Blood Manipulation. That's two techniques. Dabura also has two separate techniques. Now, I think it's going to really come down to domain expansion. Will Dabura have a domain expansion? Because if the aliens don't know about domains and such things, they're not going to know about simple domains, meaning he would have no way to defend himself against Itadori Yuji's domain expansion. I don't think it's going to one-shot Dabura, because remember, Sukuna had Gojo trapped in his domain without Gojo having his curse technique or anything, and Gojo was able to tank it with raw durability. He tanked it. It gave him many cuts, don't get me wrong, but he did tank it. So since Dabura is on Gojo and Sukuna's level, he will be able to tank it. Of course, it's going to cause a massive bleed and cut all over his body though. In terms of physical stats, I think Yuji might actually take it right here. In terms of pure destruction, Dabura would take it right there. Speed might be even. I think they might clash evenly in that aspect, but Yuji's blood manipulation is really going to help him in this fight. His Cleaminess Mantle is going to be a good match against Dabura's own light technique. It's destruction against destruction. Who's more lethal? But blood manipulation is a very versatile technique. Yuji can actually dope himself and make himself physically stronger and boost his physical stats, which will greatly help in the fight against Dabura. But it also has mid-range effects and even long-range attacks as well. It is very versatile and it can be used in such a myriad of ways that it's just going to be a big deciding factor on Yuji beating Dabura. Also, Yuji doing soul damage against Dabura, we don't know if the Sumerians are aware of their own soul. Maybe the third eye helps them in that way, maybe not. So that would also give him a buff. The best chance I see for Dabura is if he has a third eye awakening, or potentially even a domain expansion equivalent that's not the third eye, maybe something else. That is the best chance I see for him having a chance against Itadori Yuji. But let's say his third eye awakens and he goes on a rampage, that could also greatly help him, but I don't think it's going to be enough to beat a Yuji if Dabura doesn't have a domain expansion. But if Dabura does have a domain expansion, which I really hope he does, that is going to take this fight to the next level. I do believe it is going to be a difficult fight and a close fight, but I think at the end of the day, Itadori Yuji would win. From a power scaling point of view, I think he is strong. However, I think the way this is actually going to go is he's going to clash with Dabura and they're going to have a fight, but I don't think we're going to see the conclusion of the fight. I really don't think so. I'm seeing a lot of people say Yuji is going to die and he's going to have his ending that he's always wanted and it's the best ending for his character. I think it would be insane for Yuji to show up in Modulo and a chapter or two after his first appearance, not including the very amazing cameos that we've gotten that have foreshadowed him and shown him at a distance, I mean his actual real appearance, it would just be insane for him to show up, be the strongest, be that guy, and to just instantly die against Dabura. That would be so insane. I think people would riot. I think people would genuinely riot if that were to happen. I just don't think it's going to go down. I do think they will fight, but unfortunately, I just don't think we have enough time in Modulo to see an end to that fight. The only way I see it happening is if Yuji is just so much stronger than Sukuna, Gojo, and Dabura that he ends it fast. That's the only way I can see that fight ending. But I do believe Yuji is stronger. This video may age like wine, it may age like milk. We are going to find out very soon, with chapter 17 coming out soon, and also Yuji definitely appearing appearing, I would bet my channel on the line in the next 3 or 4 chapters. He will appear, possibly, very possibly, even the next chapter, as it is titled The Strongest. But hey, that's all from me. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Who is going to win this fight? Be sure to leave a like on the video. It helps out so much. Thank you very much. And of course, subscribe for a ton of JJK Modulo content just like this. As I said in the intro, if you love JJK Modulo, you are not going to regret subscribing. But that's all from me. Have a great day, guys, and take care.